Um, hey, so this is Lee. I'm back with you once again with an Orco stream. Um, so, as I've introduced this in the past couple streams, I'm from Luling, and Luling's right across the river from Norco. So, a lot of the cultural stuff and geographical stuff that shows up within this game has a lot of relevance to my own lived experience. So, I've been doing this series of streams to kind of give a little bit of that context to people that are not really from this region or may be like, live here but aren't really familiar with a lot of the St. Charles Parish, River Parish's chemical industry stuff that is touched upon in Norco. So, with that, let me adjust some things on my headphones. Okay, and here we go. So last we left off, we were at LeBlanc's Padu PI place. We had just fed an orb of light to Super Duck, and Catherine's story came to an end. So we're back to K, and we're gonna go look at this toilet world again. Okay, so Padu PI. Now this is a real fuck ups place. You can see a pack of cigarettes over here and an ashtray and number twos, you know that. But if you want to take a number two, you also got this over here, a toilet. And LeBlanc's telling you that the toilet's right there if you need to wash off. I don't know what these bottles are, alcohol, but I take a look at the map of the region, and that's where he keeps dropping all the dead bodies from. You can find a lot of dead bodies if you go look, kind of like a treasure hunt. Not way too much to interact with here. You can take a look at the face paint kit. Stop touching that unless you want to see me clown up. You love to see me clown up, but let's see it again. Listen, you keep messing with my kit, I'm gonna have to break it out. Let's see if we can get him to clown up. All right, all right. I was trying to save it for this weekend, but now you got me excited. Nothing wrong with clowning up after hours. LeBlanc peels the plastic tray of face paint from the packaging and applies it using a small pocket mirror. Much clown love. We got a juggalo on our hands. As you probably know, where the magic happens is a thing that people would say on MTV's Cribs when they show off their bedroom means that they fucked there. I don't think that he really fucks in this place because there's a toilet right here, but his brand of magic is finding dead bodies, it turns out. Um, so it's getting to be too much. Figures after Catherine dies, she'd leave a big mess behind. Just keep your head on straight, alright? We're gonna find Blake. Then you can skip town again and forget this place for good. Yeah, if there's room in the truck, I might come along. I trusted Million. Like I said, I never trusted her. Not for a minute. Figured she was just a set of eyes for Thomas St. Clair. So, we're done. Let's find out about this hole. Place next door complains they can see me when I'm on the pot. Told them look the other way. Ain't like I'm making you watch. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. But I think they like my hole otherwise. Keeps us connected. Lots more I could say about this hole. Hell, I could stand here and talk to you about it all day. One more thing. I know I always do this, but I forget that I can't really hear stuff too well. So we're gonna go back. So we see a toilet. We've seen a hole. I don't know what the hole is because it really just kind of looks like a. Yeah, I guess it's like a hole in the wall rather than a window. So we step out of Padu PI. Now I want to talk about this. So this past weekend I went out to Norco. All this time it's been um, God over 10 years since I've been. I used to work for the St. Charles Parish School Board, and we would go driving around the parish, outfitting schools with new computers or updating software on the computers, doing all kinds of stuff. My friend Chase and I would do that as well. Sometimes we'd go out to like the schools out in Norco. That was kind of like the farthest reaching ones that you go to. But that was probably the last time that I went out to Norco. But I went this weekend and made it a point to go to Todd's Snowballs. So if you get a chance, you can check out my Twitter account. I posted a couple pictures up there. I also posted a couple on my Instagram account. It's the same username as my Twitch account. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's Roaring Blood after a Guitar Wolf song. But yeah, Todd Snowballs looks basically like this. They got a window at the front where there's a pissed off teenage girl, uh, and then they do have a sign listing all the snowball flavors over here. This is one thing that you don't really see at snowball stands is like a place that does not have a list of menu items because they get insane. But they have like a window for service over here, a window to leave. So Padu is next to this snowball stand, which is actually Todd Snowballs out in Norco. Um, so let's talk to this guy right here. Turns out that it's a Garrett, and it's our drug Garrett. A man wearing battle armor emblazoned with a red cross crouches over a turtle on the sidewalk. A name tag that reads Garrett is fixed to the man's armor. LeBlanc. I was just. Who the fuck are you? Man, I know this looks weird. I got separated from my coworkers, and then I saw this turtle, so I stopped to take a look. Why you outside my place of business, just like a pervert? Pervert? I'm just like a knight. How am I just like a pervert? Look, I could go. Why are you here? For work, I guess. What kind of work? Spiritual work. Kind of like yoga. Or no, more like outer space stuff. Rockets. We're into self-improvement, weightlifting, stuff like that. Sounds cool as shit. Oh, I mean, it is. It's really cool. We're blasting off into space to meet up with fellow Christians. They live on a moon that orbits Mars. Where'd you get this costume? It's not a costume. Why does everybody keep calling it that? I'm a soldier of Christ. Soldier? Who do you fight? Scum, mainly. Scum? Cokehead hipsters and punks who hang out downtown and call us Nazis. Where are your co-workers? They said they'd come pick me up before launch, but it's getting kind of late. Launch? Yeah, what's that mean, launch? I don't know, man. We were supposed to do this thing tonight, but it kind of fell apart at the last minute. Why fight the scum? Because they think they know everything, but they don't know shit. They think everything they do is morally superior, but it's not. They just make the world worse, but insist they're making it better. I don't want to be in your club, okay? You people are uptight losers. Stop calling me a fucking Nazi. I'm not a fucking Nazi, man. I'm just a guy. I'm Caleb. I mean Garrett. I'm fucking Garrett. Uh, so just leave him alone. Have fun with your turtle, bro. I will. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so we are gonna go just kind of like check out what's going on around here. Um, but we're gonna go to the house first since it's like where we have most of our clues. Way I found you, I came in right there through the front door. Took me a minute to figure out where all the noise was coming from till I climbed up into the attic. They had a ladder that went down through the attic into a closet like a damn haunted house. I got down there, seen the robot had his claws around your neck. So what I did was, I kicked you out the way. Probably kicked you pretty hard, come to think of it. Robot's face was all opened up. She had, shit, I don't even know what it was. A big glowing tumor floating in her head. She tried closing up her face to protect it, but I already had my nine drawn. Popped a few good times before she could snap her face shut. She ran a little bit and fell over. Wasn't easy getting you back up that ladder, but I managed. Let's go check and make sure the robot's still there. Maybe have a look around that room. So yeah, we're back at the house. where the ladder up the stairs is. Okay, so down the secret door again. That's right where I left it. Don't look like she's going nowhere. What the hell was Catherine doing in this room? Spook me out. So we got anti-malware advertisement again. Computers turned on. We got this weird thing. At the center of the table sits a cheap plastic electronic device. One USB cord runs from the instrument to the computer tower. The other runs to the laptop. So let's try talking to it. No Wi-Fi connection detected. What kind of gizmo is this? Drivers corrupted. Device requires update. Gate, get me online. This answer machine kinda pushy. Let's get it hooked up to the internet. See what happens. Alright, so this thing that looks like a Wi-Fi router is a signal jammer. It's a military grade signal jammer. One of these is enough to take the whole neighborhood offline. No wonder that answering machine can't get no internet. Take someone with the expertise to disable one of these things. You may handle it? Sure. LeBlanc pulls a pistol from his waistband. When I was playing this earlier, I had the other option that chose that, and it just has you unplug the thing. But I'm glad that we get to have LeBlanc shoot his gun at it. Right? Shoot the signal jammer, LeBlanc. Take me later. That thing should have a connection now. Alright, that's the dude. So let's talk to this thing. Wi-Fi connection detected. Installing drivers. Installation complete. Warning, critical I/O functionality has been deprecated. To interact with this instance, please install your preferred head drive client on your mobile device. For more information on hosting options, please visit the Greater New Orleans Neural Versioning Clinic website today. Head drive client? You got one of them on your phone, Kay? Yeah, we do. So log into our mom. Compressing local artifacts. Resolve. Establishing remote connection. Okay? Enumerated items. Okay? I'm speaking to my daughter. Catherine? Yes. Y'all fucking with me because I'm drunk. Base enumeration module. Conflict detected. Can you attack K? Attack K? You talking about million? What is million? What you talking about, Kate? How the hell we even having this conversation? Pull the phone from LeBlanc. What are you? I am Catherine Madere, age 52. Branch identifier, November 1.0.0. I'm hosted on a 32 terabyte head host external hard drive without cloud support. We need to find Blake. What happened, dear? To my son? Blake's missing. Blake is missing? He is lost? His face is a shadow. Kate, you know where he might be? Blake is missing. This phone broken or something? What happened to Million? Enumeration error. I'm sorry. I do not know Million. I do not know what happened to Million. Tell us what you remember. Last. There in a chair where I sat. The room was dark. The clinician asked questions. After the appointment, I was to meet with Super Duck. About Super Duck. Super Duck is the version consciousness of Duck. The what? Please rephrase. Kate, why you was going to see Duck? I was going to see Super Duck, a spawner duck, a deformity. But why, Catherine? Because of what I saw? What I saw in the lake? Kate, you ever went see Duck like I told you to? We better go pay him another visit. I can't make no sense of this. What's the last thing you remember about me? You are my child. Is the session complete? My oldest. I remember that you held my leg as a baby when you began to walk. What do you remember about Blue? Please specify what you mean by Blue. He was your husband. Kay, can you hear me? Kay, please. I do not know about blue. Have I forgotten blue? The house was dark and I couldn't make out the shape. Was this blue? What do you remember about Blake? I remember many things about Blake. I remember that he cried. He didn't want me to die. He asked me not to die. Did I die? I want to ask about something else. What are you? Yeah, it's the same thing. That's enough. His air machine mentioned Duck. Let's run my dimes and have a word with him. Maybe he knows what's going on with all this nonsense. Alright, so I'm gonna go see our boy Duck and the dimes. Oh, look who it is! The Garrett. The gamer Garrett's, that is. So take a look at him. Two teenagers wearing cheap costumes block the door. Each wears a name tag that reads Garrett. This must be them coworkers that little nerd was talking about outside my place of business. LeBron regards the teens. Happy Halloween, kids. You look like a couple soda cans. Look who's talking, clown! Nothing wrong with my look. It's timeless. So y'all work with that other little dude outside my place of business? We work only for ourselves. We don't answer to anyone. We're dissident Garretts. Alright, whatever. Where the hell's Duck? Where the hell's Duck? That's what I'm asking you. There's Belt, motherfucker. Excuse me, boy? Getting a little fresh? Think I might have to whoop your ass. Seriously? Let's kill the degenerate clown man. I don't know, dude. I mean, I could if I wanted to. I just... Silence, Garrett. I can't see shit out of this thing. Stand tall. The barbarians are at the gate. The adolescent turns toward LeBlanc. Ready yourself for death. Alright, so we have to fight the Garretts. This Garrett has a chaotic shield over here. Let's see. Alright. Oh! Okay. I'm not too good at this stuff, but I'll try. Okay. Well, I didn't do good at all. Oh, fuck this shit. What the hell was that about? Let's go check on Duck. Now I'm worried. Alright, so going back to Duck's house. Duck. Hey, Duck. Clay. You around, bruh? Old man ain't left his house in years. Yeah, them little kids do with him. Alright, so we got a little note here. Scribbled letter sits on the desk. Never thought things would get this fucked up. It all took a turn after he made us tie up the dead lady's kid. Dead lady's kid? Okay, you don't think? Then he tossed John's head in the water. What in the... And John's eyes. They weren't his. They were glowing. I'll never forget that. All the Garretts at the Rocket been sneaking around trying to find his head. I didn't like John, but hell, everyone deserves a funeral. We know we tossed it out of the boat somewhere around latitude 30.077, longitude negative 90.366, but the lake is so full of sediment we can't see shit. Losing hope that we'll find it. That's all for now. You boys be safe. Them coordinates is in Lake Pontchartrain. They're searching the swamp. LeBlanc slides the paper to you. Put that in your pocket. This right here is the closest thing to a lead we got. The dead lady's kid just might be your brother. Alright, so we don't see Duck in here, but let's go see if he's in here. And there he is. Oh hell, bruh. Duck, hey, hey. Duck slouches in his office chair. LeBlanc shakes the man's shoulder and snaps his fingers before his face. He's breathing. Wake up, Pops. Wake up. Duck's eyes slowly widen. Brett. He attempts to smile. The hell you got all over your face? Mardi Gras come early? Don't worry about it. It's just a style. You don't look so hot, Clay. You gotta get you some help over here. Just taking a nap is all. Them little creeps still out front. We took care of them. Duck turns to you. How about you, Kay? You ever get your mother's stuff back from the refinery? Yeah. What you find? Ford's discount car that unlocked a secret room in the middle of the house. Bro, Catherine James Brown? Catherine James Bond all of a sudden? Why are you so surprised, Brett? That sounds like Catherine to me. That's who she was. From the outside, she was just normal, mundane. You wouldn't think nothing of her. But that was a disguise, a costume that she wore. She was clever, always hiding something. The hell's going on around here, bro? What them kids was doing outside? The two little ones got separated from the rest of the pack. They had a whole gang in here earlier, asking me all kinds of questions I didn't know the answers to. All because of that thing right there. He lifts his frail hand towards the device on the desk. Biggest mistake of my life. How they managed to find it is beyond me. Thought I lost it years ago. Figures they'd come back to find me. So, so what is the device? The piece of trash head drive I was telling you about earlier. Has my brain sitting on it. Gave birth to that monster that calls itself Superduck, the one your mother got mixed up with. But the head drive seems more or less broken now. Tell us more about the intruders. Where'd they go? Don't know. Couldn't even guess what all this is about. But they mentioned your mother. Said they have her. They have Kate? Ow. That's what I'm telling them myself. Catherine's laying in a casket on River Road. Them dummies probably grabbed the wrong person. What would they want with her? You think I know Brett? What about Blake? They say anything about him? Nothing about Blake. It wouldn't surprise me if he's in the mix. Takes after his granddaddy. So what were they asking? Asking me to talk to the drive. Interpreted what it was saying. Something about needing to find a rock. Oh no, a stone. I just kept my mouth shut. I don't want nothing to do with that head drive. There's a curse. But I guess they figured it out on their own, because they sure left here in a hurry. So why didn't they take the head drive with them? It was so chaotic in here. I didn't know what was going on. All them just shouting over each other. They were as confused as I was. The whole thing seemed like a big mess, like nobody was in charge. And then suddenly they were gone. So how'd they find the head drive? Like I said, I don't have the slightest clue. Figured that monster ran afoul of those people, stole something from them. Maybe they did a little research, found the head drive that started it all. Maybe they thought if they did that, they could find whatever it is they're looking for. How'd they know the head drive was yours? That part's easy. It's got my name on the thing. It's enough about the intruders. We'll get you help. No, don't bother with me. A little nap is all I need. Who in here? I'm calling. You ain't calling nobody, Brett. Cool it. You think this bad, the way I am right here? This the way I've been for years. You getting bent out of shape about it. I just been sitting in this house hardly able to walk. No more good days. You wanna help me? Come drop by from time to time, alright? I will, Clay. I really will. Good. That's all I'm asking. Alright. So let's sync up with the head drive. This looks just like the Gizmo Kid had. When everybody start getting these things, and who I want to tell their boy Brett? You think it'll hook up to your phone, K? Same as the other one? So yeah. Pull up the head drive client, literally called head drive client. Clayton Richard. So quick thing here. A little Easter egg for Louisiana people. 504 is the area code that's in the greater New Orleans area. 985 is the area code used in the basically like from Luling and like St. Charles Parish, I know, and extends I think to like Homa. I'm not exactly sure where the cutoff is. 225 I know is the Baton Rouge area code, and 337 that's Lafayette. So shout out to all the people that have area codes in their phone numbers. Mine is 504, but I rep all of them. Anyway, we'll find out about Clayton Richard's brain. Network ping detected. Network distress. Emergency safe mode initiated. Prime node in the terminal state. In terminal state. Latitude 30.0632. Longitude 90.3428. Them coordinates way out in the lake, just like the ones written down in that note. Your truck got gas? I think we'll be taking us a little trip to the lakefront. I'm ready when you are. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go to the lakefront. Duck has drifted back to sleep. So head up. We got um, just a spoiler. We don't really have much, but we can go to the tavern and see what's up over there. Um, so Gus is still here. Brett, what the world you got all over your face? What is that? Bro, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's just my look. You was just here a couple hours ago. What the hell happened? It's just a look, Gus. A style. It's just my style. Let it rest. Okay, you need me to call the police on this man? You following you around? Nah, we're pals. Pals. You say so. What, Gus? You think I got friends? I got me all kinds of friends, Gus. All right, Brett. More friends that I know what to do with. All right, so let's take a look at the news. Reporting to you live from the Shield Oil Refinery fence, the Shield Oil Refinery fence line in Good Hope, where a cargo moving machine is ablaze. It is believed that the unit burst into flames after colliding with a flare stack. The oil pirate known as Lucky is wanted in connection with this incident, as well as a string of other arsons across the parish. He's considered armed and dangerous. They've been blowing up all kinds of shit. All right, well, I hope we get to see Lucky again, but he's not part of our party right now. So, just about all we can do. I'm gonna go talk to our friend at Sarpy Books, and these kids all say the same thing. But come in here just to remind you that Erica is still not over the crouton thing, in case you're wondering. Too bad. If you wanted my help, you should have listened to me when I told you to stop petting the cat. So it's been like a day since the cat blew through the ceiling, but I feel like we'll see him again. Little spoiler, maybe, maybe not. We're gonna head out to Lake Pontchartrain. All right, just slow down, kid. Road's washed up out here. Washed out up here. All right, hauling ass down the spill. You continue to accelerate, but the truck stays put. Christ, kid, what I tell you? Got any recovery gear on this thing? Shit, we're on foot now, I guess. Looks like there's a fishing camp just up the road. If you want to reach the coordinates, we need a boat, but they got one we could borrow. Alright, so the truck sunk in the mud. We're stranded unless somebody can pull it out. But we can go to the fishing camp. Um, so, yeah, um, this is a pretty common sight. I'll read what he says. Yeah, I know just where we at. It's Peachy Duon's fishing camp. Me and my daddy more or less lived out here for a time. Old man Peachy hated my ass. And that's the Interstate 10 overpass over there. There's a map on a bulletin board. Might help refresh my memory. And I wonder who we got to talk to get a ride in that boat. His coordinates we got are all the way out in the lake. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's not really a big surprise, but really common sight are these homes on stilts within southeast Louisiana for the most part, like through the Bayou region and some of the river parishes, but they're common in camps, so fishing camps where people go out to the lake, mostly so they can survive tidal change or just like fluctuation of water. In particular, the spillway fluctuates pretty wildly. Um, but my family, my mom's family rather, had a fishing camp in Grand Isle that was a home on stilts. Grand Isle, Louisiana is like right on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. And I'm sure I talked about it before, but largely a kind of like sleepy fishing community right now. But It is kind of like a protocol and a resource hub for people that are working the oil rigs out in the Gulf. In like centuries past, Grand Isle was a resort town, and people would escape from New Orleans to just kind of like go to like an oasis. It had been weathered by a ton of hurricanes, and a lot of the like resorts just totally damaged and destroyed. And anyway, point here, a lot of my childhood was spent in one of these fishing camps. Um, so yeah, let's have a look. Uh, take a take a look at the fisherman, and he's fishing from the dock. Evening. That's your boat? Not mine. Believe that boat belongs to the camp. So they got the key inside one of them units. I suppose they do. Let's go pay them a visit. Let's go pay them units a visit, Kay. See if we can get a key from one of them. Can you help us pull our truck out of the mud? You were racing down the levee, weren't you? She was hitting every wash as you saw. Wish I could help. I got a winch on my truck, but it's on the other side of the spillway. You know Peachy? You know Peachy Doon, the old man who owns the camp? Sure, I know Peachy. What you mean you knew Peachy? You ain't seen about it on the news? Peachy been dead a long time, maybe 10 years. Come on. Yeah, Peachy been dead, and he took several others with him. The man finally cracked. Dang, Fia might end up like that for him. He was a bad dude, bro. He said anything about me before he died? Brother LeBlanc. Brother LeBlanc. What? Anything bad about me? I don't think you understand what happened here. Peachy locked himself in that camp with three hostages and a pile of ammunition and refused to leave. Wasn't because he was mad at me, though. Now, what kind of question is that? Forget it. So who's got the camp now? His grandson split the place into units and turned them into vacation rentals. All kinds of people pass in and out now. Figure they don't have any clue what took place inside there. Leave. Alright. Well, that's Louisiana for you. So we're going to take a look at the notice board, and there's a lot of details in here that I'm going to try to go into, but I don't know if I'll do too great of a job. So take a big sip of water and have an Altoid, and we'll find out. Um, so really love the tones in this, just orange and brown to the best. So yeah, we here. Let me take a look at this map right quick so I can get my bearings. The detective inspects the map pinned to the bulletin board, tracing his finger along the bayous. Yeah, alright. I remember this old stretch from when I was a kid. They call this area La Branche. La Branche. Used to be an old fishing village up until a hurricane knocked it out the lake. So, that's true, and that's what it is. Beach's Camp was the only building left standing. That's where we at now. Chapanya's Pond is just across the way. They named it after a plantation man from back in the old days. So this is the thing that I wanted to kind of talk about. I just did a bit of research because I know I'd seen that word before, but you'll see this in like I don't know, like 10 minutes or so when we get to that part in the game. But uh, there's a flashback kind of to the Champagne's plantation. So I did a research of like a Google search for Champagne in Louisiana, and as he said, it's an old plantation man. This is from a Library of Congress entry from 1938. So there's a use of a term that is like frowned upon to refer to black people, but it's not that one. Um, so I'm gonna read the quotation, and I'd say take a look at it if you can. It is pretty interesting, but also like pretty fucking gruesome. Um, so the quote goes, about 100 years ago, circa 1938, this was the scene of an uprising on the part of the Negro slaves. They were held off by Monsieur Trepanier until the arrival of military forces, which decimated the ranks and paraded the heads on poles through the streets of New Orleans. So as of like 1838, they're, like displaying war trophies of slaughtered slaves, essentially. Um, so some of this stuff actually does come up, and I'm telling you this right now because it's just interesting to get primed for how this game handles it. But yeah, there's Trepagne's Pond in this game, but in real life there's Trepagne's Bayou. Um, and like I said, the La Branche thing, as far as I know, is also true. It's something that you see on a map if you look around the Lake Pontchartrain area, right about Norco. But yeah, I'll ditch that for right now. Then you got the interstate canal. The government dug that to build interstate 10. They had a whole lot of salt water into the swamp in the process. Cut off a lot of trees. That's how we ended up with the ghost bayous. Them just some old bayous without any trees left standing. The banks eroded without no roots to hold them in place, so you can't hardly see where you'd steer on your boat or before you run out of ground. Well, just the government's fault though. A long time ago they used to log those swamps for timber. There's scars all over the place, like the logging wheel. Reason it looks like a wheel is because they park a big pull boat right there in the center. Then them guys would start chopping the trees down, go out in one direction, then another, like the spokes of a wheel. They called it a pull boat because they hitch the trees into a big rope and boat, and the boat at the center would pull the trees in. They had a drum on the boat about the size of a car. The drum would spin to wind up the rope. Big coal fire, son of a bitch. My granddaddy told me it spit out smoke like you ain't never seen. Then down there is the lower suction canal. A lot of people died along the canal when the hurricane came through and took out La Branche. They got people go scuba diving in there looking for treasure lost to the storm. Not always easy to find your way around the area. Good thing there's a map, and it looks like somebody dug up, stuck a note to it. All right, so got shells. Got shells? Ranger clam shells. Yard full of them. I stay in La Place. Color text. Swamp away flyer. Book your ideal stay in Louisiana's natural wetland habitats. With short and long-term options available, you can live like a local in one of America's most mysterious regions. Swampaway is committed to sustainability. We believe in rebuilding Louisiana's wetlands for a greener, more verdant future. Book before the new year and receive a free snack pack delivery during your stay. The crabber's letter. Whoever been raiding my traps gonna die, brah. Um, so I wanted to say, ooh, now that's a real thing. My grandpa would set out crab traps out in Grand Isle, and I just remember like how protective the people were because it is their livelihood. Crab traps, these big square like cubes with I don't know wire around them. You put some nasty stuff in the middle, and then crabs will come in and they can't get out. People usually mark their own traps with like a cork or something like that, and something that's just particularly identifying. I just remember my grandpa telling me that, you know, um, that people would absolutely shoot you if they saw you just like raiding their crab traps. So my man with an anonymous note right here saying whoever been raiding my traps going to die, brah. That's that's how it is. Um, Anyways, take a look at the Garrett letter, and hire me for voiceover work for any kind of radio stuff. I can pull out a bullshit Cajun accent or a sales and marketing voice, but let's do it. A name tag pins a hand-scrawled letter to the board. Yo, Garrett. Garrett, again with these little dudes. Meet us at John's Pond on the northeast side of the lake for the launch. I've never heard of John's Pond in my life. It's a mess over there. People been posting about it online, driving out from the city to take pictures with the Ark. If you're coming from this way, the only route is through the Ghost Bayous. Open up the Apocryphon app and take a look at the map. You'll see some blinking lights. Those mark the locations of the portals. When you drive through them, it's like storing that stuff Ditchman scrapes off the urinal. It's a fucking nightmare. If you can keep your head on straight, the portals will take you to a light source. Each one will be a little different. Don't let it freak you out. Just be a cool Garrett and make those lights blink just like you see on the map. Do that, and you'll get swamp vision, brah. The ghost bayous will appear for you. Good luck. Hmm. What? Um, so yeah, since I already did this, I wish I could show you the notes that I have um, for it, but I just have like this very tiny screen. So we're gonna pull up the Kenner John app, and you can see the things blinking. Um, so what's that about? You see that? You hold the phone up to the map, and it shows them little blinking dots. The one at the login wheel is blinking real fast. The one at Trapania's pawn is blinking slow. Move your phone around the map. See if there's more. So I don't know. You probably can't see at all, but I have like okay. So here's a fast moving one. Here's a slow moving one, and then if we move to the left, got a not blinking one, and then a like dot 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 dot. So I feel really cool for taking this, but it turns out that like once you actually go through this part in the game, it's pretty easy. So it'll be obvious in a second, but yeah, basically everything is looked at over here, and now we got to get a boat. Um, so I didn't go to Camp Unit A before, and I wasn't able to. So let's see if we can do that. What kind of knock is that, Kay? You're not going to get anybody's attention knocking like that. You got to get wacky with it. Knock fast. Open up. We got to use that boat right quick. No, please go away. Just keep knocking, Kay. We got to get a key to that boat motor. One of these ones better open the damn door. It's an emergency. Open up. No. There's a head in a lake and shit. Don't care. Open up or I'm kicking this door in. You probably can't. Just try it, dipshit. You asked for it, the iron foot. So you're gonna kick the door in with your big red shoes, clown man? Back up, Kay. Whoa! Still got it. The door was open, you fucking idiot. Swamp away, I guess. So here's a boat key. Listen, you're being a little aggressive. Bringing this kind of energy to the swamp goes against what this place is all about. Bro, I know it don't seem like it, but I know what you mean. We used to do some serious hanging out in the camp when I was a kid. My friend Nutty threw Mr. Peachy's goat off the roof while we was wrestling. No, that's not, no, I mean you're disrupting the harmony of the swamp by kicking our fucking door in, you dipshits. Whatever. Who in the hell are you? Wait a minute. This must be the same lady who broke in while I was away. The one who dropped her underwear in the bathroom. Oh, yeah, babe, it must be. So are you? Are you the burglar from the other night? I think your dude might be lying. You think I'm gonna believe you? Someone who just broke into my B&B over the word of my longtime partner? Get real. Maybe we should ask the fisherman if any of his stuff has gone missing. No! Oh? I mean, there's no need to alarm him. I guess you're right. We need the boat key. Are you kidding me? We're using that boat to go on a date, aren't we, babe? Yeah, babe. Alright. That's gotta be the key we need. Let's just go take it. You are not taking that key. We're gonna watch the sunset later. Yeah, babe. He promised. That's right, babe. Well, let's see what's on the... Yeah, fuck your radio. I want this cool pelican up here. This is such a half-ass break-in. Can you please just leave? Wait. We're trying to mellow. Can you please just leave? You might have heard a text tone. I got a text and it was somebody asking me about looking at a cookbook. So, yeah, I guess we can just leave. Gotta go here. Open up! We gotta use that boat right quick. Boat came with the rental. It's ours. Bro, let me just lay it out for you. This little highway rat here is looking for a brother, you got me? We think he might be out there in the swamp. I wish I could help you, but we need that boat. Good luck. Nah, knock again, Kay. Just keep knocking till we get a key to the boat motor. They'll get sick of us eventually. Hey, hey, man. Lord help me. If you need the boat so much, why ain't you using it? That isn't any of your business. We're trying to save lives here, bruh. As are we. Can we at least get a ride? Where's you trying to get? The head drive gave us coordinates in the lake. Really? I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. My partner Duck. The door slams open upon the mention of Duck's name. So, yeah, a buddy of mine has his little gizmo. It's like, hell, I don't know, an answer machine, I guess. It kept spitting out these coordinates in the lake. What else did he say? Said it's got a stressed out node, bruh. Something getting stressed out in the lake. Where are the coordinates? They're in the phone. It's the node. Figure you're right. And you two are just going to boat right up to it. Sure, boating ain't nothing to me. I boat my whole life. Why wouldn't we? Because it isn't safe. What other option is there? It isn't safe, Abby. Are you familiar with the network that some call SuperDuck? Looks my buddy I was telling you about. Clayton Richard. Yeah, Clay. Good buddy of mine. Dallas. This guy look familiar? This guy is necked. I never said I knew the source. Give him the key. Shit, really? That sure help. It's irresponsible. If we give you the key, you must do something for us. Happy to help. What you need? Take this. The woman passes you a small handheld device. Hold it before the node. Press the little button. Think we can manage that. And return it to us. There's it. That's it. Dallas. Yeah. The boat key. Give it to them. Dallas reaches the key to you. As he looks you in the eyes, a glimmer of familiarity lights his own. He says nothing. Settled, I suppose. That's right, it is. Alright, so I don't know what the hell they all got in here. Images cycle across the screen. Cypress trees, marsh grass, piers, and other details from locations scattered around the lake. So talk to this lady. Yes? What is it? Did you get me my reading? What's all this about? I've been following the evolution of the SuperDuck network for nearly a decade. I've never seen it behave like this. How so? We believe that it's dying. Communication across the region has been scrambled and erratic. Birds are dropping from the sky en masse. It's even affecting the local wetland behaviors, habitats. I have reason to suspect that an old colleague of mine died prematurely due to exposure to one of these nodes. Uh, who is your colleague? Why would that be relevant to you? Peter, please. She was pushed out of the academy many years ago for transcript fraud and plagiarism and harassment. She had a reputation for being irresponsible with her research and letting her personal grievances influence her findings. I once co-authored a paper with her on the fence-line community of dimes. Her vendetta against S.H.I.E.L.D. and other commercial interests in the region alarmed me at first. But in the end, I think her motives were laudable, and believe S.H.I.E.L.D. is ultimately to blame for her death. But I also suspect that SuperDuck played a role. Her cancer was in remission the night that she was exposed to the Fat City node. Following that single incident of exposure, the speed of her relapse was remarkable. She was dead within weeks. I'm sorry, Dallas, but this is a reality you must come to grips with. Who are you conducting the research for? My research is funded through a private donor. There's no need to get into that. I've been studying these wetlands my entire life. Alright. So, stay safe. There's something in the air tonight. What do you mean? Doesn't matter what I mean. Just keep your wits up. Talk to a man in a trench coat and an elaborate bow tie stares down at the carpet. What's up? What's your role in all this? I don't feel like getting into it. Been running jobs at Super over years. That's all. That's why Dr. Moore put me into this. All my money is tied up in crack coin, and now with the network down, crack's not worth nothing. So I gotta take whatever work comes my way, how it goes. Alright, so That's about all we can really do. We got keys. Now let's talk to the fisherman. Evening. What do you know about that couple in Unity? Well, I don't like to gossip, but the fellow that's been staying over in Unity, he had a new lady coming by nearly every night of the week, up until the latest one showed up, that is. Can't imagine what she'd say if she heard that. Let's go do this. Let's go fuck with him. You know anything about that note on the bulletin board? The one with the name tag on it? All I know is his boys been coming by taking pictures of that map with their phones. They're always interesting types passing through this since they turned Peachy's Place into vacation rentals. But these fellas are a different type entirely. Yeah, that's just about that. I'm gonna see, since I didn't get to go to Camp Unit A, I don't get to, I didn't get to play this voice memo for him. All right, let's see. Uh-oh. What the fuck? Babe, let's go take the boat ride. I knew it. I knew it. You said you wanted to open things up. You said that. I said put a ring on it. You slimy sack of shit. Babe, please. I got so much love to give. That's not love, that's... Can you not talk about it in front of the guests? You mean the two burglars who just broke in? Guests? I can't believe I trusted you. Need some time alone. When are you ever alone, you attention-seeking skunk? Bye forever. Babe, babe, where are you going? This is a baby. Oh, hey kid. Didn't know you were there. Sorry about the door and all that. Okay, let's go. I don't like the way this thing's looking at me. Babe. Well, let's just go take their boat keys as well. Forget it, kid. We already got a key for the boat, remember? Let's see if we can. I'm gonna put the crouton case on. Yeah. Okay. I want to see if the baby summons any kind of ghost with Kenner John's app. But no, it's just a baby. All right, let's talk to the baby. All right. Yeah, we don't have any shit we can steal in here. Let's head out. All right. So let's see. Look at that. It works. Let's take us a little ride. You heading into that lake? Yes, sir. You done much riding out there? All the time. Then you know what it's like. A lot of the land is eroded away. Once you get past I-10, you can't hardly see where the water ends and the land begins. You talking about the ghost bayous? That's right. The man turns his attention to you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you're saying the land is eroded so it looks like open water. That's right. Once you pass beneath the interstate bridge out there, it's hard to tell the eroded land, while the dead trees fell from the open water. You might run your prop over submerged cypress trees, might even get yourself stuck. Then how are we supposed to get through? Them strange boys with the name tags that have been coming around lately, they seem to get through the ghost bayous just fine. They're always looking at that map. Maybe they know something we don't. And one more thing, if you get a sonar tracker on your phone, keep it handy. All kind of things is hidden in this lake. Don't be shy about jumping in the water. You see some weird things down there, but it's just a trick of the light. Nah, bro. They got ghosts in the water. Nonsense. Don't pay that any mind. I've been swimming in these bayous all my life. If you get an alert from that sonar, dive in and see what it's about. All right. You ready? Let's go. I hope that baby's all right. All right, kid. Time to put on our detective hats. You got your phone handy? Let's take a look at that GPS. There was two sets of coordinates at Duck's place. One we found scribbled on a letter. Same letter that mentions your brother. Said they were searching for a head. Now, I don't think that's your brother's head. That ain't what I'm saying. But I got a hunch that all this is connected. The coordinates for that are on the northwest side of the lake. Might be worth checking out. The other came from that app on your phone. It was putting out some kind of distress signal. Looks like that one's coming for Eagles Pond. Both sets of coordinates up past the Ghost Bayous. We want to get there. We gotta figure out how to get through the Ghost Bayous first. You got that? Now you do the driving. I'm gonna loosen my thigh and relax. Alright, so we got a couple of things we need to do. Basically, we're driving through these areas to the like red dots that were on the map earlier. There's one over here. Sonar's going off. You figure they got something down there in the lake? Why don't you dive in and find out what it is? Okay, but be ready. What the man up here said is wrong. They got ghosts down there. Partner of mine dove in the water to drive a pilot when he was putting his camp. Said he saw his dead granddaddy swimming around dressed up like a race car driver. Said his chin was on fire, 4 foot underwater with flames coming out his chin. You believe that? Like a, like a fire goatee. He tried to swim after him and got sucked down the hole and ended up at a pizza restaurant 20 miles away. I'm glad it's my off hours. I'd hate to see somebody like that with the kind of hangover I got. So, you're gonna dive in? You crash through the shallow depths of the lake as the swamp spins around you. You try desperately to regain a sense of direction, thrashing further from the water's surface. You sink deeper into the bayou in this way until at last you emerge on the other side of the water where you find a near perfect mirror of the world you left behind. The contours of the galaxy are light in the sky above you. You've never seen so many stars. A man sits beside a kerosene lamp in the dirt of a palmetto grove along the bank. He rises to take a closer look at you. I watch the swamp and the treetops every night, but I never watch the water, he says. He reaches out his hand and helps you onto the bank. In the shadows of the grove are other figures whispering among themselves. The whispers are above you as well, in the visible crowns of the cypress trees. You're one of the Trapani's children, aren't you? And say, who? The man whose property you own, he says. His arpent stretches all the way to the river. He stares at you for a while longer and then above you to the opposite bank. Lucky you're not one of his kin. He has something coming his way. So, my guess is that this is like a reference to what actually happened at the Trapanier plantation. Someone from beyond the palmetto line whispers to the man. He backs away into the shadows. If you don't know this country, you'll need a light. The man joins the rest of the assembly and they walk deeper into the night, leaving the kerosene lamp behind. The light is solid, unchanging. So turn the knob, and this was like a sine wave. So this is the right one that we need, as the green light shows you. And we're near to the next one. Just like, I don't know. I'm so glad that we get a return to the little boat game in here. Um, I'm a big fan, as you could guess. All right, so here's the second spot. As you fall into the lake, you watch the traffic lights and the overpass become like a mirage on the surface of the water. There's the sound of cars rushing above you, and then there is the sound of your descent, and then there is nothing. The lake and all of its sediment is infinite in its silence. It holds you captive, and you are unable to move. Paralyzed in this way, you watch the dim suggestion of headlights cut across the bridge in their erratic cadence. All at once, an explosion of sound punctuates the vacuum of silence. For the smallest moment, the silence returns before a truck crashes into the water, sending a shock wave that releases you from the water's grip. The truck is sinking fat quickly, unnaturally, as if being pulled magnetically from below. You swim down to the vehicle. The headlights kill as you approach. The cab light flickers on. Blake sits in the passenger seat with a familiar look of distress. The driver's seat is empty. He sees you and begins to bang on the window. The cab fills quickly, cutting the lights. You pull open the door and swim into the cab as the pressure equalizes. You feel around desperately, your lungs screaming. The cab light awakens again to reveal an empty vehicle. Blake is nowhere. The light pulses slowly, regularly, rhythmically. So we're going to flip the switch a couple times to get it to just be steady. All right. Whoa! That was loud as hell. All right. That's the right one. So back to the boat. Okay. Let's take a look at the map. So we need to go to, I think, the wheel, the logging wheel, and the lower suction. So we're just gonna go um, up here. There might be some kind of hidden thing that's in the map all the way over here, but I'm not gonna try to do that because I have 20 minutes left of this stream. All right, so coming through here, I think that the logging wheel thing is really interesting. Um, I know that, whoa, that was of course a huge industry in this area for a very long time, but we're going to find out about it now. You plunge into the logging canal and immediately find yourself tangled in the branches of a felled tree. You struggle to free your arm, no luck. As you pull, the tree pulls back until at last its force proves stronger and begins to drag you through flotsam and foam. It's impossible to see beyond the suspended sediment of the water. In a sudden violent moment, a force pulls the tree into the night air, and you along with it. As you hug the trunk of the tree, you see before you a massive machine spitting smoke into the sky. The machine sits atop a barge. Mounted to the barge is a large drum that spins slowly and powerfully, binding the rope that grips the tree on which you float. You look to either side and see crews of workmen balancing upon pierogies, axing wedges into the base of the cypress trees along the canal. Some pull the felled trees to the edge of the canal, while others paddle from danger as the towering trees crash into the water. So I did want to take a quick note, take a quick aside right here. I don't know if I talked about pierogies on here before, but this is something that I feel like people are more familiar with, but it's a flat bottom dugout boat that is really common in just kind of like swamp areas. So my grandpa loved carving them. That was like a just like a thing that he did, and allowed him to use local materials from cypress trees that had been felled or whatever. He would carve them and just have something to do. It's always really cool. My brother, when he was born, got one, and so my parents just like kept this pirog for my brother. Anyway, another story aside from that of like just like the local relevance. My girlfriend and I took a trip along the East Coast, a long road trip, the first one that I had taken in decades. And we had started to listen to an audiobook from Patti Smith, the, you know, punk rock icon, writer. She was talking about a trip that she took in maybe the 80s to South America, and was talking specifically about boats that people took. In the audiobook, Patty refers to them as pierogies, and I was a bit offended because a pierogi is, as I'm sure more people are familiar with, a type of dumpling from just kind of like Eastern European culture, like dough stuffed with potato, onions, cheese, often boiled and then fried. So it's funny, just, dumb kind of thing. But my girlfriend's from Pittsburgh, and she was the person that introduced me to pierogies. There's a fairly large Eastern European community, lots of Polish people in Pittsburgh, and so getting um, getting the word pirog mixed up with pierogi and a thing was just kind of like a nice combo of the two cultures that we belonged to. But still, just like a little bit, I just had to laugh because Patti Smith obviously heard this, heard the word pirog pronounced correctly, and wrote it down. And she must have like read it later on rather than it being like actually in her head. So yeah, check them out. There's some really beautiful pierogies on display at like, I don't know, all throughout the Bayou region. And shout out to Clint Bellinger. So yeah, I'm from Luling. My family, my grandpa is somewhere. Yeah, he's from Lafourche Parish, and he moved to Westwego early on in his teenage years. So I have a lot of family that's like between Luling and we had a trip well, like we had a family camp out in Grand Isle, so I'm really familiar with that area as well. Anyway, so yeah, pirogues are cool. Better than canoes, pretty stylish. So, talking about logging here, and I'm going to continue with it. You rest your arm from the cypress and climb onto the barge. A foreman stands upon the platform and regards you with a scowl as the barge begins to sink into the water. He points to the firebox at his side. Ah, there. Don't slow down now. You look down at the pile of coal and the shovel beside the firebox, both now submerged as the boat sinks further. The shovel floats towards you as the water reaches the roof of the pull boat. The sinking boat settles upon the silt bottom, and you find yourself floating beside the firebox while holding the shovel. The light of the firebox continues to glow even in the depths of the water. So the light is, it's supposed to be like the fast blinking one. So let's keep shoveling coal. And there we are. So we don't have to shovel coal anymore. Alright. So we have one more place that we need to go, and it's way to the west. I'm gonna take a look at the map to make sure that, dang it, we're all right. So we gotta go to the lower suction over here. Okay. So down this way, some fast cars, and gotta dive. Okay, you dive into the wreckage of an old fishing village. Wooden pilings are shadows against the dim light of the evening. The pilings are driven deep into the silt, where planks and bottles and crab traps and stray pieces of tarp have coagulated into something whole. Swim towards the trash. You swim to the lake bottom and float beside the accretion of debris. A stray window rests among the trash, slightly opened. Swim through the window. You swim through the window and discover that there is no water beyond it. No longer buoyant, you fall immediately into a wooden cypress floor. You scan the area. You're in a cluttered living room, clean and well kept. The picture frames along the wall shake. The foundation of the home rocks. You look outside the window from which you entered. Rather than the depths of the lake, you see a torrent of wind and rain ripping across the open sky. Lightning cracks punctuate those furious sounds, and in the small crevices of silence there are screams. There's a door to your right that leads onto the balcony of the home. You go to the balcony. The world outside is a maelstrom. Water laps at the balcony, threatening its foundation. You watch as willow trees floating along the bank of the bayou leave the earth entirely, sucked into an insatiable purple sky. In the distance, figures hug the crowns of cypress trees, screaming prayers into the vortex. Among those so stranded is Blake, who has lashed a rope around a tree and is holding to it desperately. You dive from the balcony into the floodwaters and swim against the strongest current the bayou has ever known. When you emerge, there's no home, no Blake, no hurricane, only the infinite evening. LeBlanc waves from the boat that idles near the bank. "You good, Kay?" he shouts. You look up at the cypress tree where the apparition of your brother clung only a moment before. A rope hangs from it, limp in the stagnant air. Pull the rope. A light awakens from somewhere in the depths of the bayou. Pull the rope. The light pulses slowly, regularly, rhythmically. Okay, so that's the right one, as you guess. All right. So we got that swamp vision now. All right. So I'm actually gonna, yeah, we're gonna head up this way. Got a couple things left to see, but I'm gonna close up the stream relatively soon. So number one, we got to get all the way up here. Luckily, we got swamp vision, and I hope to, in some point in my life, have swamp vision too. But I got computer vision, or psycho vision for all my suicidal tendencies fans out there. Shout out Psycho Myko. I hope you and the boys play this sometime. Or Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 fans get to drive around in a boat. Anyway, gonna dive here. You plunge into the water. You pass your hands through the increasingly obscure cloud of sediment. A stray branch juts from a larger tangle of detritus. Two beads of light shine from the direction of the branch. As you make your way closer, you discern the shadow of a form. You pass your hands over it. Soft, almost gelatinous flesh. The distinct ridge of a nose. The firm, unmistakable texture of teeth. Glowing eyes hardened like glass. You wrest the head from its hanging place and swim towards the boat. What you got there, Kay? A little treasure from the lake? You hang the head from its sloughing tangle of hair and display it to LeBlanc. Ooh, sorry. Dear sweet mother of Jesus. The head continues to rock gently in the wind. That's great, kid. Just put it down. What's with them eyes? LeBlanc taps his fingernail on one of the eyes. Them eyes ain't human. He presses his thumbs into the head, and the two glass-like orbs slip easily from the eye sockets. The head is entirely without eyes. All right, playtime's over. We still got another set of coordinates to check out. All right, so we have to get to the Eagles pond over here, and I'm not going to talk about the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater soundtrack anymore, but uh, I just think that's a way that we can all connect with each other, is the music of our life. So we have to go over here. Oh, um, I've been playing the Yakuza video games slowly. I'm on Yakuza 4, and I played a fishing mini game a little while ago, and I was like, man, this is fucking fun. So I went and looked for PlayStation 4 fishing games, and I really suck at fishing games. So don't tell my dad, but he probably knows that I'm not a good Cajun, but I'm definitely not a good fisher because this stuff is hard as hell or a little baby's game. You can talk to me if you want any kind of feedback on the two fishing games I played, but here we are at the Super Duck node. Anyway, I bring that up because you drive around in boats in every fishing game I've played, except for Yakuza. LeBlanc says, God's name am I looking at here? Um, so, bro, I seen some big bald eagles in the spillway before. Never nothing like this. Looks like somebody tore his eyes out. Alright, so first thing, let's try to use this meter. Um, so use it on this. The arm on the display meter oscillates for a moment before flashing orange and settling near a 45-degree angle. So that would be um, so we got Kenner John's head. Let's try using it on. Okay, that doesn't have any effect. Um, but we put the eyes in it. We slot the eyes into the bird's empty sockets. Oh! All right. Bro, what? That bird just puked out a floating ball. Mr. Peachy used to tell us all the time they got aliens in this lake. The hell's it doing to you? Almost look like it's giving you a sniff. The sphere shrinks down and buries itself inside your coat. Oh, nah. It looks like you made a friend. Be careful carrying that ball around in your pocket, Kay. Don't let it blast lasers out your eyes. Shit. Feel kinda sorry for that big bird, bro. First time I seen an alien do that to a bird. All the heat coming off this thing starting to make my skin itch. Let's roll. The orb's cool. So yeah, I think that this is like a good point to leave. The next thing, like I basically like played one scene beyond where we're at right now. So well, that'll leave us. It looks like if I'm like looking at other people's streams and recordings and stuff like this, they give us about like an hour and a half left, and might be like the last stream next week. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in or like watching this stream after the fact on YouTube. It has been really fun to play through this. I know that I'm not like much of a like gaming personality necessarily, but I do hope that talking about some of these things and like giving you a little bit of context for, if only like a friend here says, like the pronunciation of words, at least locally, even if it's not like true French. I think that I'm kind of close on a lot of them, and I'm also just like ripping off the voices of every guy that I heard growing up and like tapping deep into my Cajun ancestry to pull off some kind of accents. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Thanks again. Uh, this game has been really fun, and it's just, dealing with a lot of top. Oh, yeah. Last thing with that, I wanted to point out specifically that uh, that the instances where you dive into the water, I noticed the connection between just like the exploitation of geography, of not geography, of natural resources, namely the cypress trees within the region, as well as plantations where the exploitation of human bodies um, to produce profit. Those two things existed and were pointed out, drawn particularly here. Um, a parallel could be drawn to how the Shield oil refinery or the Shell oil refinery functions in real life. So the thing that I wanted to say was that these aren't distinctly local thing. Like this isn't a particularly Southeast Louisiana only problem. We deal with the problems of capitalism and exploitation all throughout history and all throughout the world. And I really want to thank the people behind the geography of robots for shining a light on this and not being like um, particularly overt or like. uh, As I'm saying all this, I want to point out that there's an eagle shooting lasers out of its eyes, but the political message behind this, the thing that I do think that we all need to hear and be aware of the exploitation of human lives and by industry for profit. Um, Constantly being aware of it and our contribution to it and our continuation of it. And this game doesn't really paint too hopeful of a future, but it also just, you know, it's not its job. So, yeah, thanks again. The world's terrifying, but we're still here. So, yeah, with that, I'm gonna save. Um, I'm gonna finish this rum and soda that I've been drinking, and I'm gonna see you all next week.